It has happened again, my people. Atiku Abubakar has finally bombarded Tinubu a few hours ago in response to his reactions to Donald Trump case in the USA. My people, nobody could imagine how far Atiku has gone, because in this video, I will show you how Atiku attacked Tinubu to the extent that Tinubu had to leave. My people, this is a serious case. Don't go anywhere, because I will be showing you what Atiku did that has got many people talking about his reaction, and people stick on the ridicule given to Tinubu by Atiku. So if you're watching us for the very first time, kindly like, comment and share this video across all social media platforms, and also don't forget to click on the notification icons to get you notified on our next video. Stay tuned, I'll be back shortly.
Welcome to the whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Everywhere buzzed few hours ago, my people, as Atiku Abubakar fiercely lambasted Tinubu during a high-profile meeting in Abuja. This gathering was supposed to mark the beginning of a new chapter focused on improving Nigeria's economic situation. The event, themed Practical Entrepreneurship Development for Progressive Innovation, attracted notable political figures like Peter Obi, Atiku, WIKE, Akpabio, and Shetima. Expectations were high for meaningful discussion about practical solutions to lift the country's economy, but things took an unexpected turn as the surprising controversy erupted between Atiku and Tinubu. During the meeting, Tinubu suggested that the program should start with prayers. While this may have seemed like a simple gesture, it triggered a strong response from Atiku. My people, Atiku couldn't hold back. He openly criticized Tinubu's suggestion, questioning why prayer was priority in a meeting intended for economic solution. Atiku argued that while prayer has its place, it won't solve Nigeria's deep-seated economic and security issues alone. His reaction quickly stirred up the room, creating a storm of debate that spilled over and onto news platforms like Arise News, where the issue was discussed in depth this morning. Even RUFAI OSENI could not hold back. Thought the controversy couldn't stop there. Even Peter Obi weighed in, stressing that while religion is an important tool for society, should inspire hard work and accountability, not complacency. Obi reminded everyone that true faith demands action and focus, especially in times of crisis. Atiku, however, drove the conversation further, addressing pressing issues such as insecurity, economic hardship, and the misuse of power. He questioned how Nigerians could progress when leaders focus on gestures rather than real solutions, arguing that the energy should be directed towards solving these critical issues, not just relying on prayers. The intensity of the meeting highlighted the clash of priorities among Nigerian leaders and sparked widespread discussion. So, my people, this is a topic that has everyone talking. Let's dive and watch this video, and I will provide you with a detailed breakdown of what happened and its implications. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and I will be back shortly.
Monday ordered the immediate release of minors said to be end bad governance protesters held in prison for over 90 days. Nigerians have reacted. Well, in a briefing to State House correspondents, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said that President Tinubu issued a directive to the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi.
The President has directed that these children, these minors, be released immediately. This is, of course, without prejudice to whatever legal processes there are. Of course, if you look at this issue, there is the legal side of it, but there is also the human angle, the humanitarian side of it. Mr. President has directed that whatever the circumstances are, let the minors be released. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs has been directed by the President to ensure that they have safe return and reunion to their family members.
All right. I mean, I think it's a great development. When I saw the story yesterday, my heart was at rest. I mean, knowing that the president is listening. As much as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs is going to go, make sure that they are home, I hope that there's also some sort of rehabilitation program that will be set aside for these children. I'll take some reactions. This is from Samuel, who wrote, "Releasing them is good news, and kudos to the lawyers and Nigerians that lamented against the evil perpetrated to to the kids. But the question remains, what can the government use to compensate the mental and physical damage done to them? How can they avert the trauma as they grow? Another Twitter user, Mega Mixer, wrote, after they have successfully demarketed Nigeria, I guess they have now concluded and realized that protests should not be treason in Nigeria. I repeat, those who purportedly fought for democracy and the rule of law in Nigeria are today fighting the same democracy and the rule of law. They championed protests at a time, but today protests are seen as a weapon fashioned against them. Time is indeed the true test of one's identity and true intentions. Another Twitter user, Dr. Ife Akandu, wrote, so over 30 minors were detained by the police for months simply because they expressed their right to free speech and to protest against bad government. These harmless minors were charged by officers of this same Tinubu government of attempting to overthrow the government of President Tinubu. These minors were so charged, and neither the president nor the AGF bothered to find out the profile of the people charged with attempting to overthrow a democratic government. It took outcry of Nigerians for the president to get to know the profile of those charged of attempting to overthrow his government. It is indeed a sad day for Nigeria, so heart-wrenching and destabilizing. Then we have the police chief saying the malnourished children were acting drama by pretending to faint in open court. There is no better definition for wickedness against citizens. I mean, this gentleman's tweet, Vimbai, I thought was quite apt in terms of profile. But still, I don't think we actually have the profile of these people that, you know, made these children go out to carry out these flags or Russian flags that they now say is a treasonable offense. Do you really think that the identity, I mean, I know that they're going to continue on with the investigation, but the main thing is that it took 90 days for these young children to be kept or held, 97 days, I believe, to be held in prison, and yet we have no identity or no profile of those that made these children do what they did.
That is, for me, that's the root cause of the core of this issue at the moment. When we look at these children, you know, first of all, we said it earlier here on this program, we hope that when we do see them at Aso Villa, first of all, we hope they are not wearing ashwebi. And
that's what's probably going to happen. No,
because you know, the amount of resources that's used to do all of that is something that could be used towards, you know, getting them on their way. The conversation now for these children is around, like you correctly said, rehabilitation and compensation.
Yes.
I know Femi Falana is, you know, leading the advocacy for financial compensation for what these children have been through, and I think that's a very important conversation. What does that look like? And that's what needs to happen, and let's follow that process through to make sure there's accountability. But it still goes back to the fact, and I'm really glad that our guest, Dr. Beatrice Pogu, also dated it back to the 1980s, to the Maitatane riots in Kaduna, and said that this is not the first time that we're seeing children, especially in the north, being sent out to protest, being sent out to, you know, to commit all sorts of acts in the name of politics or in the name of, so it's all very unfortunate. But for me, the big question is still, who hijacked the protest?
That's the point.
Who sent them?
Well, all right. Well, in the meantime, the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, are set to lead a national prayer session aimed at addressing Nigeria's numerous challenges. The event, organized in collaboration with Christian and Muslim leaders, is intended to seek divine intervention as the country faces ongoing crises affecting various sectors, while a cross-section of Nigerians have reacted to the development, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who mocked the idea in a post on X, saying that the administration is in a hurry to take over power without a coherent plan. His tweet reads in part, like many fellow Nigerians, I firmly believe that we find ourselves in this current economic turmoil due to the Tinubu administration's hasty ascent to power, devoid of a coherent plan. Isn't it fascinating how the so-called tested Tinubu administration's only policy response seems to be a national prayer led by the First Lady and the NSA? Just a mere 24 hours after I propose my alternative solutions. What a bold strategy in my humble interpretation of the scriptures. Prayer indeed serves as a noble path to follow. However, the sacred text also counsel us to engage in diligent labor and hard work. Rufai, you know this happened. I mean, I believe it was just 2 days ago or 3 days ago when Atiku Abubakar, proposed some policies and Bayo Ononuga attacked him. I don't know if you saw that tweet where Bayo Ononuga attacked him, but of course reactions have trailed this national prayer. Let me take this tweet from Badebo Rose Viver. He wrote, Israel is at war, deploying an iron dome, not the Lion of Judah. Saudi and UAE are creating new economic realities for their people. And there is Nigeria seeking national prayers, not because they believe in it, but because they want to hoodwink the people. What Nigeria needs is a change of leadership from those who pursue their narrow interests to those who are competent, have character, compassion, and an ambitious vision for their people. It is possible, Rufi.
And you see, that's why for all the people that were going after Peter Obi, the truth is that man has said the truth. This is exactly the mindset we have. Was it not on this table we heard the other day that some people wanted to go and pray against bandits, military officers, if my memory serves me right? We have become a nation of jokes. See, I didn't see any big display in Saudi. I saw a country, only religious, I saw a country that was intentional about its success and growth. Oji, 500 real notes. They wrote their vision 2030 on it. You know what the Bible says? Make your vision plain. This administration does not have a plain vision. Prayer will not solve everything. See, if you want to move a mountain, it's not by saying, hey, God, move it. No. God has given you the brain to think of the things that will help you move a mountain. By the way, we're talking about Israel having the Iron Dome shield. It's technology. Like Fela would say, technology. If you don't put things in place, and the solution to Nigeria's problem is clear leadership and thinking. President Tinubu has not laid down an economic road plan to bring Nigeria out of this quagmire. He keeps saying, oh, things are going to get better. Now that one we go shop. A man that says that statistics we go shop. He start telling you to pray your way out of economic problem. So we are not ready. See, Saudi was intentional about pivoting. Saudi started going against some of their hitherto religious conventions. We're talking about WTA, women going to play WTA in scanty attires. Because Saudi wants to attract a lot of investment. As I got into Saudi, Oji, I saw an Eminem show be advertised. That's an Islamic country. But an Eminem show with audio mark and some other American artists were advertised.
All right.
So we are not ready.
All right.
And please, President Tinubu, take feedback.
All right. Well, I want Dr. Abatti's comment on this prayer. I don't know how it is that the NSA too is involved in the national.
Now, in other countries, they have national prayer breakfast meetings. They have it in the US every Thursday, every first Thursday of February. It was started by members of Congress and what they call the National Prayer Breakfast Association. And in some parts of the US, states also have national prayer breakfast days. In other words, since Dwight Eisenhower, every American president has attended that. But it's a private thing, organized privately. They have it also in Australia by members of parliament. They have it also in the UK by members of the UK parliament. They just pray for the country. And I think that, look, yes, the point that Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar was making is that yes, there is something to be said for prayers. But prayers should not become substitute for hard work. The question to ask is, First Lady and National Security Advisor, who is organizing this national prayer? I hope it's not a government project that will be budgeted for, and everybody will be following. It will become a Tinubu administration project. That's not how they do it in other parts of the world. Right. There must be a distinction between private issues and public issue, and Nigeria says in section 10 that this is a secular state. There shall be no official religion, so those who want to pray can pray, but let them not bring it into government. And no penny of the Nigerian government, whether it's security vote or not, must be spent. Now, in fact, the prayer must not take place inside government premises. They should look for a neutral place. But you cannot stop them from praying. After all, there's freedom of religion, freedom of thought in this country. And prayers will not address monetary policy. Prayers will not bring down fuel price.
Absolutely not.
Prayers will not stop the Ebim power phenomenon, well said, into which we are all trapped.
Well said. Only yesterday we took Peter Obi's story where he said he's going to make night vigils or turn them into night shifts for productivity. And I think that is a key point as well. Well said.
People, this national political system has degenerated to the point where religion is weaponized to manipulate us. Our political leaders have allowed their corrupt practice to be hidden under the disguise of religion, dividing us further while enriching themselves. While they buy armored cars, the very citizens they claim to serve are being slaughtered by terrorists and kidnappers. We are at the point where poverty is so widespread and the average citizen can barely afford a meal a day. Yet these politicians keep their wealth, which grows as the prices of essential goods skyrocketed. The minimum wage does not rise to match inflation, and the everyday lives are lost with no solution in sight. The religious divisions they stroke are just another tool to keep us distracted while they continue to enrich themselves. Economically, the situation is just as there. Despite effort to implement fiscal reforms, the country remains vulnerable to external shock. With inflation still high, consumers are struggling with rising prices, especially for food and transportation. So poverty levels are projected to increase, and the overall economic growth forecast remains fragile. Meanwhile, infrastructure spending remains insufficient to address the needs of the people. It's clear that no matter how much we pray, it won't fix the systemic corruptions that are deeply embedded in the political and economic system. This is the reality we are facing. Religion should unite us, but our leaders are using it to divide us while they continue their corrupt ways. We keep to wake up to this harsh truth because charges isn't coming from the top. The masses must demand accountability. So my people, this is where we will be putting a stop in this very video. If you are watching us for the very first time, kindly like, comment and share this video across all social media platforms, and also don't forget to click on the notification icons to get you notified on our next video. Stay tuned.